Hi, so I just want to say welcome to Tommaso, Danio and Pietro from Husky Loops for the Moonshine Sessions. So I guess at this moment in time, you're coming towards the end of your UK tour. How's it been so far and what's been your highlight?
London was the highlight.
And it's been great.
Sounds corny because it's our hometown basically now, but London was amazing. It was like a massive rave party, it was sick.
So what was the standout movement? I mean, what would you say has been the biggest sort of memory, if you like,
of this tour?
Yeah.
I mean, every gig was great. London was definitely a highlight. We kind of created a family in London. We collaborated with a lot of people, and a lot of them are friends, and they all came to the show. We all were like in the backstage, just like celebrating and being together. And a lot of them were on stage with Jelani Blackman rapping with us, and Count Councillor and May. It just felt like, wow. Yeah, I don't know, I will never forget that night, really.
Yeah.
So you've got the Spoolie EP coming out tomorrow, and obviously the reception from radio and from the media so far has been really positive. Do you read too much into reviews? Do you sort of like pay much attention to what people are saying, or do you not sort of like get too involved with that?
It's a weird one. I think I do, mainly because I don't know, they just describe us in a way that I don't really feel we are like that, I don't really care about I don't really care about how they call us, but I think I'm intrigued in seeing how they call us, you know what I mean? So when they say like Fighting Myself is post-punk like they used to say, or Everytime I Run is like Britpop, I'm like, oh, interesting, because that's really not what I was trying to do.
No.
But at the same time, they're the ones who decide, like people will read that and will think we are that, so in a way, you kind of need to go with it.
Yeah, I think we're all very interested in what we read about us. We look for it and we analyze it and talk about it, like reviews of shows and stuff. It's always good, I think.
I think what's interesting as well is that obviously Everytime I Run was going to be featured on the soundtrack for FIFA 19. I mean, how did that come about, and do you guys follow football at all?
It's a funny story, because I wrote the song 4 years ago.
Oh wow!
And he liked it, I hated it. He didn't have an opinion about it.
Quite a lot.
And then after 2 years, kind of like our manager was like chaos. Our manager was saying, "Oh, that song is great," and then we reconsidered. Okay, if someone that's so close to us likes it, then let's try it again. And it completely changed. We done this crazy arrangement, and then during the day, the England play the final. What was it?
Semi-final. Sweden.
Yeah.
Me, Count Councillor and May were like our best friends in London. They just decided to just drop into this hip hop part and rap over it as a joke. Basically, not as a joke, but it was a fun thing.
Yeah.
And we thought that surely we only end up on vinyl. And we sent it to like our sync companies and like our publishers and whatever. We've written like vinyl version. And then a week later, FIFA just listened to it somehow and they said we won down FIFA.
Wow.
Which is great, because again, it's us and our friend in a massive game. It feels amazing to be there.
And it was recorded in half time.
Yeah, literally half time of the final.
We were at the pub.
Half time of the semi-final. We just first thing we were really drunk, which helped, and we just half time just went in my room under a duvet, rapped all of it, and they're not rappers as well. This is great because a lot of people now think they're rappers, but
so it's the perfect sort of like I guess place to showcase it on a football game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do think that's perfect for FIFA because that kind of moment made it joyful, and the song talks about running away. It actually has like a darker meaning to it. So the fact that it's in a game makes it to me more interesting. Yeah, I just think the pace of it. I think it's perfect really in that game. I was really flattered. Yeah.
So you've also signed to Danger Mouse's record label, so that must be really exciting for you. I mean, are you all big fans of his work?
We're huge fans. Yeah.
Did that sort of influence your decision to work on the label?
I mean,
we were so surprised when he got in touch. It's amazing. We've loved all of his work, and we've never done anything in the United States so far. So it's a first chance of going there and seeing what it's like, and if they like our music and stuff. It's cool.
It feels perfect to be there, really.
Yeah.
It feels like a perfect family for us. We love a lot of the bands in there. Autolux are like our favourite American band.
Yeah, Autolux.
Autolux are brilliant. And they're on that label, so to be honest, that thing was the main reason why I said yes, because just to be next to Autolux to me is great. And Dangerman, yeah, he's a legend. You know, I was flattered. We were all flattered. We were like, well, okay, great, let's go.
So I mean, like, you know, what are your plans for 2019? You know, obviously you've put a couple of EPs out. Will there be an album?
That's the secret, my friend.
Can you reveal it for Travis?
I will be eating a lot. I'm eating a lot recently.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I'm eating a lot of food. Maybe I'll become really fat next year.
You want to follow the
But you still
Wilson?
record an album.
Yeah, I want to do a Brian
Try
Wilson.
to get
Brian
fourth
Wilson
member by osmosis.
Yeah.
Eating a lot and then
Exactly.
separating into
No, we're gonna
diners.
go in the studio in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And we're gonna record a lot of stuff. Then
See what happens. Yeah.
see what happens.
We're going to Iceland in November.
Yeah, for Iceland Airwaves, aren't you?
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to America for the first time in March. We're gonna go
Or
South by
South by
Southwest.
Oh
Yeah.
right! Oh wow, that should be interesting. That should be quite cool. Got to ask, so obviously, you know, I guess quite a lot of people in the UK sort of like found out about your band with, you know, with watching you support several bands. You sort of like play with Placebo and Sunflower Bean. I mean, how do you prepare for? I guess for sort of like opening up for a different band whose audience might not know you, to sort of like playing a headline sort of your own
I mean, everywhere or in America?
everywhere.
I don't know. I mean, we're just trying to create our own fan base, you know. Yeah.
I think
I mean, playing before those bands taught us a lot, you know, and I think we collected a lot of fans. But still, I think what we are doing is pretty unique to ourselves, or at least we're trying to feel ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, it would be good to. I think the people who really like us know that. I think, you know, we're the kind of band that will easily develop a follow on their own, you know what I mean?
Did you sort of like learn anything from those experiences? You know, sort of like learn from like the more
Yeah,
I guess
I
like
think
so
experienced
much.
musicians.
Yeah, I think it's kind of tough opening for big bands such as Placebo because a lot of the fans there are very, very like they only care about
Very
the main band,
partisan.
obviously. So it's hard to impress them. But when you manage to do that, it's amazing, you know. So
well, all we did was really just treat each show as our show.
Yeah.
Not try to think too much that you're supporting bands, so you need to tone it down or anything. And we work with some really great artists because both Placebo and Spoon and Sunflower Bean were really like, you know, letting us be free to do our thing. So our support slot were really our show, and people got that, you know. Also because I think that often you can be a support band for a main band, and then people not even listen to you, and then they're just there for the main act. But our sound is quite heavy and impactful, which helps when you don't know us.
Very diverse as well, I'd say.
We were really
Let's say
trying
they
to-
couldn't ignore us. They had to watch it all.
Too loud. Too loud.
We
won't
always
let
really
it
try
chat.
to impress the crowd, you know what I mean? That's what we do, really. We try to impress them a lot. And I mean impressed as in we're trying to shock them, we're trying to surprise them, that's what we do. Our show is based a lot on those things.
It's based a
We
lot
want
on
that reaction, so even if we're supporting like you two, I think in a way we still get that, you know what I mean? Without being too arrogant. But
No,
like,
that'd
that's
be a good
what
song
we
to get though.
Yeah, I mean that's what we do. As in and you can like it or not, that's the thing. Like a lot of people, Cardiff hated it. The worst
really?
reviews, the worst
Why? What was so different about Cardiff?
I don't know, but you know, that's what I'm trying to say. So our sound is kind of like that. So it can shock you in a bad way or in a good way. You can think like, what the fuck's going on? It's horrible. Or you could go like, this is great, I'm going to listen to it, you know. But we are like that. We're not really going to go like he was saying, oh yeah, we're supporting this band, so we're just going to be very polite and just not say anything and do our songs like that, you know what I mean?
a lot of the decisions that we take in our set list are based on contrast, based on trying to get the highest dynamic range, you know, so going from real moments of silence to real loudness, and that can be, you know, there are many artists out there that work more in a off-on kind of way, you know. There is a song, silence, hello guys, another song, so, you know, so that can be a bit confusing, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years now that you've been in London. Do you think that Husky Loops would have happened and you know, and certainly progressed in the same way had you stayed in Bologna?
No.
No.
Is there any scene there? Is there any sort of like scene worth talking about in Bologna?
Yeah, but you know, I just think, I'm talking specifically for what we do. I just think Bologna's got, it's more close-minded for what we do, you know? And it's just not really the place where we could develop our own vision in that way. And it's not Bologna's fault. It's just not. That's life.
It's a weird one because I mean there are certain parts of Italy that do have sort of like little pockets of scenes. I mean, for example, Venice has got a really good sort of like psych rock and shoegaze scene.
Correct.
Tiny little scenes.
The reality is that Husky Loops wouldn't have happened if it wasn't in London. But our personalities and the influences that we bring, you know, a lot of that comes from who we are, and who we are is very much determined by the fact we are from Bologna. So, you know, musical influences of our childhood and stuff, all those things.
I mean, in London, it's easier to get the doors open to the world. You know, in Bologna or Italy, it's very hard. Yeah, there are scenes. There's still lots of bands touring, and there is stuff happening, but it's just not the same.
No,
you know, it's so much bigger in the UK, and we got to tour Europe and do a lot of stuff they wouldn't have been able to. Simply because of contacts, and you know, it's completely different in that way.
I think some of the best shows that I've seen this year that have actually been from Italian bands. I think about the Gluts and the New Candies, for example.
Oh, I've heard of New Candies. Yeah,
really good bands. So,
but yeah, I mean, I mean, what he's saying is correct. As in, it's important to say, at least for us, that we're not running away from where we're from. You know.
Yeah.
We have I mean, it's actually quite funny because I think a lot of people think when we go to play like in Spain or Holland, they think like our punk side, our rock side is actually like what we got from London. It's really not. Like we learned how to play punk music in Bologna.
Yeah.
You know, we learned how to not really care if you're playing in front of 5 people in Bologna. So that aspect of us coming from Bologna.
Or if the gear is all broken on stage and nothing works, you just carry on and have fun.
We have I'm so influenced by Italian songwriters still today. I write a lot of songs, you know, in the way I do because I listened to Italian songwriting for such a long time.
Yeah,
I'm very grateful to the scene in Bologna for you know the influences I had during childhood, during high school years. It's a very diverse and cool mix. As in, it's a left-wing town. It has a really strong underground scene. It has a lot of students. So for a kid growing up there, it's amazing. And then, of course, as you grow and develop, you want to break free and go to the big city.
So what advice would you give to a new band that's just starting out? What would you tell them to do, or what would you tell them not to do?
In Bologna?
Anywhere. I guess in the UK, really.
I would just concentrate on the music. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
At the end of it, that's what you're selling, you know? If the music isn't good, we were great emails for 3 or 4 years, but that's what you need to work on. The songs, the lyrics, your style. Just feel yourself also, that's very important. Being able to understand who you are. Just really work on that first, you know? It's really important to sell yourself when you're ready to know who you are. That's the best advice I would give. It's not cool to just go out there. A lot of time happens, like a lot of major labels can sign like young kids. They don't know what they're doing, you know? I think it's really, really important to go when you're ready. When you feel like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is myself.
Yeah.
I go for it, you know? That's the most important thing.
No, I think that's a really good point. Because I think that this, you know, and also I think there are quite a few acts who tend to sort of put their music out there before they're ready, and they put it out there too early.
Totally, yeah.
And I think first impressions last.
Because you know, they think that's what matters. And I guess I understand that the society we live in just shows that all the time. You know, what matters is to be out there and post all these things on Instagram. But really, what matters is the art, is the music. You need to concentrate on that, craft that, make it great. Honesty, what we need, you know, today mainly a lot. Just
honesty, authenticity, you know, like really feeling what you're saying really cuts through now, because we are so overcrowded with so many different inputs and different sounds and stuff, and it's so easy to nowadays, I guess, I can just take my phone and make music in a second, and that's amazing. That's amazing. You have that opportunity, but at the same time, it's just too easy to sound like something that then you think it's good enough to be out, and then you put it out and you have this mask on, and after some time you're gonna realize, wait, this mask is not actually me.
No.
The important thing is just get to why are you actually making music, and if you feel that you need it, if you feel that you need to say something, then you need to focus on that.
So are there any new bands or new artists which we might not know about which you'd recommend for our readers?
Yes. Good question. What's the camera? That one. Joy Anonymous, great artist.
Joy Anonymous.
Count Councillor, great artist. Pleasure Complex, great artist.
May,
great artist. Manga Saint Hilaire, great rapper. Jelani Blackman, great rapper. And These are all from London, by the way.
Oh right, wow.
This is the squad. And who else? I don't know. That was quite a lot of names, right?
Yeah, that's quite a lot of names.
Take your time.
6 or 7 names. That's a lot for us to check out. And I guess my final question is: obviously you've chosen Nikes by Frank Ocean as your cover. What made you choose that? And is it something Is it something that I guess you'll ever play in your live set?
Well, we went to see him live. Me and Pietro. We went to Lovebox last year. Yeah. And we just loved the show so much. He was a fan before me, actually. He got me into Frank Ocean. And
did you ever go and see Odd Future before that? Did you ever see the?
No, we didn't. I've never seen him, unfortunately. But Frank Ocean was just amazing. Like his live show inspired us so much. But then again, talking about honesty, his record to me sounded like so weird at first, and then I was like, he's doing what he wants. That's his freedom. I'm really hearing himself in the songwriting, and I love that. I think, again, we need that today, that kind of honesty. A lot of music sounds all the same, and he's really doing something pure to me. But at the same time, he's experimenting with the pureness, with the purity, sorry. And yeah, it's great. I think it's one of the best songwriters in the world right now.
It's insane. Like, I guess I come from being rock kid and I was into hip hop and electronica, but definitely not into R&B as much. And when Blonde came out and I listened to it, it grabbed me, and it really opened up my, I don't know, I guess my musical understanding. It's a fantastic piece of work. So
Blonde is incredible, yeah. That's our favourite album, I think. I mean, Channel Orange is great, but Blonde really, really made us go. cool, yeah.
Well, thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Every time I run, I get stuck in the sun. Every time I run, I get stuck in the sun. Every time I run, I get stuck in the sun.